There are a ton of mistakes we can make as stackers, but the one we're going to cover today can be one of the most egregious of them all, and it could cost you a ton of money. We're going to talk about that and more, so make sure you stay tuned. Feed me! Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, I hope you've all had a fantastic week so far, and I'd like to thank you for being here today to check out the new video. Also, a big shout out to all the amazing folks who joined us last night on Wednesday Metal Mania Live. It was another fun show, and the chat was on point. Now, if you haven't checked it out, you can catch us at 8 p.m. every other Wednesday. Anyway, the support you've given this channel is really appreciated more than you know, and hell, you already know the next line. Best damn community on YouTube. You guys are the best. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about one of the worst mistakes a stacker can make. It usually occurs with the newer stackers, but I've seen veteran stackers making the same mistake. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and roll this thing.
Never had it. Never will.
So what exactly is this huge mistake that I'm referring to? Well, let's start by checking out a slide from my buddy's channel where this guy left a comment on one of his videos. Now, I'm not going to mention the channel, and I've blocked out the name and picture of the commenter because I don't want to give this guy any attention. But I think you're going to find this fairly entertaining. And here it is. He goes on to say, "It kind of bites watching you stack and stack and stack some more, while the rest of us are stacking as our money allows us to stack. Look what I got. Big deal." Seriously? So, if I could ask this guy a series of questions, well, he'd go a little bit like this. First off, what makes you think the content creator isn't stacking within his own means? And did you stop to think that his means might be a little bit more favorable than yours? Are you actually bemoaning the fact that he's stacking more silver than you? Come on, man. The bottom line here is that all stackers stack differently. And if they're doing it correctly, they're doing it within their means, regardless of how much those means are. You can't crack on somebody for the amount of silver and gold they're stacking. And this post just reeks of so much jealousy, it's almost laughable. I mean, Warren Buffett bought, what, 3,500 tons of silver back in 1997. You hear me griping about his purchase? No! Because he can afford it. I can't. Simple mathematics, folks. Well, that and the fact that I don't have anywhere to store 3,500 tons of silver, even if I could buy it. Anyway, that brings us up to one of the biggest mistakes I personally think a stacker can make, and this guy's post reminded me of it. Now, if you're feeling the pressure like this guy obviously is, well, it can lead to what I call stack envy, or coveting thy neighbor's stack.
For this you shall drink bitter waters.
Okay, so maybe not that level of egregiousness, but no matter how you spin it, folks, we've got bad juju here. Now let me explain. Stack envy can kind of precipitate some of the worst characteristics of a stacker, especially a newer one. Now go all the way back to when you first started watching stacking videos on YouTube. Admit it, you saw some amazing stacks, right? And you might have looked at your own fledgling stack and kind of wished you had more. It's natural. It is human nature to want more. But here's where the problems could potentially kick in, and well, I've seen all these examples play out in the real world, and they are. Number one, stack envy can lead to panic buying, where the stacker feels the need to kind of catch up with their favorite YouTubers. And in the process, they might put off paying their bills and spend a bunch of money they really didn't have on silver and gold. Number two, stack envy can also lead to poor decision making, where stackers break out their high-interest credit cards to buy precious metals. Now, to me, this is one of the worst decisions you can make, unless your card's at a zero or low balance, and you have intentions of paying for that purchase by the end of the month, or before the interest kicks in. To me, that's the only acceptable reason anybody should ever use credit for buying metals. Number three, stack envy can lead to resentment, where the stacker buys silver and gold at all costs, without paying any mind to spot price, and refusing the dollar cost average throughout. So what happens? Well, inevitably, they buy in high, spot price drops, they get pissed off, and they sell, taking a loss. All because they refuse to acclimate to the long game that precious metals demand you to play. And number 4, if they have a YouTube channel, they might buy some expensive premium metals because, hey, they saw another channel buying it. So basically they spend money they don't have just to have bragging rights for a few minutes, and then what? Well, they're left with a premium piece that carries the ever-present danger of never recovering the premium they paid for it. Yeah, that's going to leave a mark. So for newer stackers, what's the best way to avoid stack envy? Well, here are some tips. Number 1, set a weekly or bi-weekly budget for metals and stick to it. Number 2, don't try to keep up with the Joneses. They've probably been doing it a lot longer than you, or they have more disposable income than you. Keep it real. Number 3, don't blow off your bills. Keep them paid, pay off your debt, or get it down to a manageable level. You really shouldn't be stacking if you have high interest credit card balances sucking you dry each month with minimum payments. Pay that stuff down, then you'll have more money to stack with at some point. Number 4, don't give up the ship. Slow and steady wins the race. And don't FOMO. Silver's not going anywhere, even if the price is fluctuating. The fact remains that silver hasn't even broken the $30 range since, what, 2013? And you can't get mad if metals don't make you a buck. It's a long, long hold. And the time for selling isn't right now unless you got in years ago at much lower prices. Number 5, stack for you and your family. Stop worrying about what other stackers are doing. You've got a goal, you got a DCA in mind, and you have an exit strategy. Do you? Stick to it. And number 6, lastly, don't get stack envy and covet thy neighbor's stack. It's not a good look for any of us. Look, man, be proud of what you've stacked so far, and just know this. Even if you only have a few ounces, you still own more silver and gold than 95% of the population. You've recognized the value in preserving your wealth, and that's something to hang your hat on. Kudos to you. Seriously. All right, there you have it. So to me, stack envy is one of the biggest mistakes, one of the biggest that any stacker can make. We're all just better off worrying about our own stack and meeting the goals that we initially set, right? That's the name of the game, after all. One stacker's plan isn't going to fit another's, so why try to deviate from your goals? Dollar cost average. Buy what you can after the bills are paid. Stick to your goals. Simple concept. Anyway, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. I do love going through them all, and I try to respond to each one. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, kudos to you. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime, this dude just barged right on in here.
What do you want to do with your life?
Damn right. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. I am out of here. Peace, folks. See you on Sunday.
You still here? It's over. Go home. Go.